have just tuned in to the Lisa Baxter Show. And today's show is called Spouse to Spouse. You might be saying, what? Why is she calling that thing spouse to spouse? No, not mouse to mouse. I said spouse to spouse. I'm saying spouse to spouse because this is my spouse. And this is who I'm interviewing today. None other than the great, handsome, educated, my man, Mitchell Baxter. Hey, Mitch.
How you doing, hon?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm good that I'm seeing you.
Okay.
All right now. Don't start nothing. We on TV. Don't do it. You know, maybe later. Okay. Definitely later. I'd like to talk to you today. I'm so glad to have you. And even though you're my husband, it was not easy getting you on this show. Yeah. And you're always been the cameraman. So now we got Cito, Juan Bravo, Junior, being the cameraman now while you're over here with me. So we're going to take our time today and we're going to talk about, I want to know, now we've been married this year almost 19 years in August.
August.
And I've been on dialysis for 10. Okay. And how hard has that been for you, having a wife on dialysis?
Well, mainly just to see you go through what you go through throughout the years. In the beginning, when they told you about, your polycystic kidneys, you know what I'm saying, and how you had to deal with that mentally. You really didn't accept it. And you're not supposed to in the beginning. You know what I'm saying, when they first tell you that. And then when you actually had to do dialysis to watch you go through the operation and
you thought I didn't accept it?
Yeah, you didn't accept it because I'm talking from a spiritual standpoint because you said I believe God.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you didn't accept it, but from that point on, and then when you had the operation and you saw that this was real, you get what I'm saying? And basically I was helpless. When you're with someone and you love someone, you want to do for them, you want to help them, you want to, be their hero and cure for them. But this particular time, I was helpless. There's nothing I could do. You know what I'm saying? But pray and, keep you encouraged as best as I possibly can. But I know it wasn't easy.
Well, you helped me.
Yeah.
You were a blessing to me.
Thank you.
We prayed together. We both believed God. In spite of going through stuff, you are always supposed to believe God. Even in an ugly moment, He's still beautiful. So continue.
So as time went on, and you were going like your second, your third year, whatever, and you would tell me certain things. So I remember one time you called me and you were crying because you didn't want to be on this anymore. You didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? You just had enough of needles and, blood and the machines and everything like that there. But I felt that pain because I was like, okay, she's really going through, you know what I'm saying? But and that was the hard thing again. I can't do nothing about it. You understand? But encourage you. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes when, from a man's point of view, they want to do something other than just, pray or whatever. I know prayer is part of it, but they want to do something physically, like get this thing off of her and, you know what I'm saying, let her, be
the hero.
Exactly.
The H on the chest.
Exactly. So,
you
that's
be my hero, baby.
One of the hardest things that I had to endure with you. I think about the first
couple years,
5 years of this stuff here. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you were going through that back and forth and everything like that.
Well, as you'd say, every 6 months or every 3 months or so, out of nowhere, this aggravation or depression would come on me, and I say, I don't want to go, I'm not going. But I always end up going. But I would say that till I got in the chair. I guess at some time you are tired of needles and people shoving things in your face and stuff. But you were there. I mean, you drove me to dialysis. You held my hand, especially when we traveled and went places. You always went with me to the place and stayed with me through the whole treatment.
I was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to know, everything that was going on. What was happening. I know that you're very educated and knowledgeable too, but I didn't even know for myself what was going on. You don't run out on people when they, dealing with something, sort of illnesses or anything like that. You just don't do that. Whether you're married, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, you're supposed to be there. So that was my obligation to be there.
Okay.
You know.
So you take your vows for real. I ain't mad at you. Oh, you ain't never
Mm-hmm.
lied. You ain't never lied. Now, what's the easiest thing about this, would you say? If there's any easier part, what would you say that's easy about this?
I think the easiest part now is how you're dealing with it now.
Really?
Being on it for 10 years or whatever. I think about the 7th, 8th year, you became more active and activist.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that made it easier. It's like, okay, she's past that mental part of it. Even though she might have bouts, whatever, I would say to myself, she's past that part of it.
Yeah.
She's accepted it, but she's doing something about it. Not like sitting there and just woe is me and all that other stuff.
I'm an advocate.
Yeah, and you're an advocate. So
well, you do the walks with me and everything. You even tried to give me a kidney.
that's what makes it easier, is because you're not wallowing.
I got my lipstick on there. You don't like that.
Yeah, I don't. But that's what makes it easier, you know, that you're not wallowing in your condition. You get what I'm saying? So that makes it easier mentally. It's like, okay, we can get on with our lives. You know, and that's what we've been doing. We've been getting on with our lives. We travel.
Yes,
we've been to Vegas. We've been to LA. We've been to Canada. We was on a cruise ship, and they had dialysis. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't stop. That made it easier.
You can't let it stop your life.
It's when you get caught up in, you know, that woe is me and stuff like that. It makes it hard, especially on the other person as well as the person that's dealing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the easy part of it, because there's nothing easy about dialysis.
Oh no,
there's nothing
at all
easy about what you're going through and what you're feeling, and you know, the needles being stuck and all of this. There's nothing easy about that. But how you deal with it, these past, I think about 4 or 5 years, you know, made it a lot easier for us.
Okay. Okay. Well, what have you learned since you're dealing with a wife on dialysis? What have you learned?
Okay, that's
or what will you take away from the table? Well, you know, from this.
That you got to become knowledgeable about what illnesses that you have. I mean, extremely knowledgeable. Learn everything about it.
You did learn that.
You know what I'm saying? So I watched you learn everything, and you get on the doctors about certain things or whatever.
Yeah.
That made it better for me to understand how you dealing with this. You know? So you know, I basically forgot the question, or you know what you just said, but
that's all right. What have you learned by me being on dialysis?
About your levels.
Okay.
Your things that you go through as far as the what's the one level that you always said? Your
what, my
phosphorus.
pH? Oh, my phosphorus. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And how serious that is. There's certain
with
things
the
you can't
scratching
have,
and the itching
and that. That's what I'm
saying. If that's high, it can cause problems with
because
your joints and your bones.
You don't realize that when you think everything is normal, when nothing's wrong with you. You don't take into consideration phosphorus and all
because you look fine.
Because you look fine.
This stuff is happening in the inside.
Exactly.
And people don't see it. You know, they say, oh, you ain't sick. There's nothing wrong with you. You'll get that too. You'll get that too. Okay. All right. So now, if I can say move on, now that, you know, we dealt with me, because this is a dialysis reality show, but I do deal with other illnesses and other things. Now, you found out a year ago that you had cancer, or should I say stage 4 cancer.
Stage 4 colon cancer.
And they said it was in 2 places. Okay. How did you find out that you had cancer?
When I went for my checkup, a regular checkup, everything was fine. The doctor called me back. He said your blood was low. It's at a 7, which is normal for us is 11 to 19. For normal
12, right?
No, it's 11 to 19. 12 to 19. 12 to 19. You're right. It is 12 to 19. When it got to a 7, he said maybe this was something was wrong, whatever. Let me take it again.
To 19.
So he took it again, and it went down to a 6. He said have a colonoscopy. When I had the colonoscopy, you went with me.
Right.
The lady said that there was a mass, which is a tumor, on my colon.
Yes.
All right. So she immediately, and I thank God for her, because she got on it right away.
Oh, she was a good doctor.
You know what I'm saying? She got me to a good oncologist that is associated with Mount Sinai. And he had me have a PET scan, you know, where they check the whole inside of your body and the stomach and everything. And And when he did that, he said that it's on my colon, but little dots of it. If it's more than 10, it could be from 10 to 30, is on your liver.
Masticized?
Yeah. No,
metastasized?
It didn't metastasize. It metastasized to my liver, but it was small.
See, that's what I learned from you. Okay.
So he said that's why it's at stage 4. But what he did say was that we can do some things about this because the metastasization on my liver is so small. It's just a bunch of them.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So there's certain things that X-ray won't get, but doesn't mean it's not there.
Right.
You know? So he immediately put me on intravenous chemo, along with pills, where I would take these pills.
Okay,
I
I
would
remember
take
the
3
pills.
pills, 4 pills every 12 hours. Right? Did some changes to my hands and my feet, where it got a little darker and everything like that there. But it was working.
Yes.
When you at you have your first chemo treatment, your level's at 300.
Okay.
And it has to go down.
Yes.
So it went from 300 to 19.
Okay, I remember that. Oh, we were happy.
So we was happy and everything.
Oh,
and he
yeah,
said, well, I'm going to put you on the
Sean.
maintenance now because he feels that this is working. But let me backtrack. He did say, I'm going to put you on this regimen and I'm going to see how much it runs its course.
Right.
He did say that in the beginning.
Yeah, because we was in a consultation with him
right.
together before we went in for your treatment.
Yes.
Right.
About November, December, my cancer level started to rise again. But he was able to catch it. It went from 19 to 38 to 83 to 114. You can't have cancer levels, your CSA rising.
No.
Because to get to a certain point, that means it's growing. So we had me have another PET scan, and he explained to me, it's like the cancer is like a light.
Yes.
If you dim it, you can control it. But it can come back by illuminating.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it means it's getting stronger,
Yeah.
it's getting smarter, because cancer, as we know, cancer is very tricky. As we see what other people dealing with prostate cancer.
We know a lot of people dealing with that.
What cancer does is just gets used to the medication that you have and says, okay, we can deal with this now. Now we're going to go to something else. So I say around January, he had a port done where a piece of metal was stuck right here on my chest. They had to operate, go inside, put it in there, and they stick a needle. So now I get intravenous chemo through the blood.
Right, it goes straight to the blood.
Straight to the blood.
To attack that.
To attack it, right. Attack it right there.
Yeah.
But you have to have 12 cycles on it. Right now I'm on my 3rd cycle. I got 9 more to go.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
He told me that certain side effects would be basically just diarrhea, but I haven't had that.
Thank God.
You know, and this past Monday, I had my 3rd treatment, and that's my first time in about a year where I'm experiencing upset stomach where I had to throw up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Vomiting.
Vomiting about 5 times.
Yes, 6.
But when I talked to him, he said that's part of it, and he did tell me, he said your cancer level is going down. It's not going down to where I want it to, but at least it's going down.
It's starting to go down.
Yeah, so that's
Thank
what
God.
I've been dealing with that for about a year and a half, 2 years, you know, because with colon cancer, I did my own studies with colon cancer.
Yeah, I remember you got on the computer. And I call it the Cancer Society.
I did my own studies, and what happened is that they don't really have much on colon cancer because it's kind of tricky.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Prostate, you know, bone and all that other stuff there.
Breast and all the rest of it.
They have something with that, you know what I'm saying? But colon is not too much, you know, on that.
So many different types of cancers now.
So they only give you like a life expectancy of 2 to 5 years. But with the medication that they have right now, you know, my oncologist assures me, he says, you're going to be here for a minute.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? He never says to me, well, Mitch, you know,
that's
we
can't
do anything else. Or anything. He never did that. He's like, listen, as long as I got options, you got, you know.
Well, he's tough and he's on point. He's on point and he's tough. And I respect that. I respect him and his staff. And, you know, they're very warm to us, very caring with us. You know, he even calls you. I respect the fact that he calls you sometimes. He checks up on you. He tell you to take time off. Even though you work like